have to say, the scene last night after weeks of ugly debate in Washington, the appearance of Congresswoman Giffords last night, just a long overdue bright spot in D.C., wouldn't you say?
I would say so, and I think a lot of not only lawmakers but the American people would agree. Nice to have something positive, of course, to report from Washington for a change, and that is getting so much attention this morning. The Senate will vote later today on that debt limit bill. It's expected to pass, and then President Obama plans to sign it before tonight's midnight deadline. Don't expect any drama, though, like we did see last night in the House, where the divisive debate did come to an emotional end, as Chris mentioned, with the return of Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. And we begin our coverage with CBS News congressional correspondent Nancy Cordes. She's on Capitol Hill this morning. Nancy, good morning. What a moment.
It really was, Erica, and I'll tell you, Washington is filled with cynical folks, but there was not a dry eye in the House, I assure you, in that House chamber last night when Gabrielle Giffords walked out. She got a standing ovation for more than 7 minutes. She said she wanted to come back to Washington to cast her vote on this debt deal. She voted yes, and her presence here went a long way towards diffusing the tension that has surrounded this angry showdown for weeks.
We all want to welcome back our wonderful colleague, Congresswoman Giffords, here, and with that, I give back.
A beaming Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords was swarmed by colleagues from the right and left as she went to the floor to cast a vote for the first time since she was shot in the head at a gathering with constituents back in January.
Her presence here in the chamber, as well as her service throughout her entire service in Congress, brings honor to this chamber.
Giffords' astronaut husband, Mark Kelly, waited just off the House floor, and Vice President Joe Biden, who was there for the vote, hugged her and called her a strong woman, which is what everyone was thinking.
The bill is passed.
In the end, the bill to raise the debt ceiling passed the House easily, 269 to 161. Republicans voting yes outnumbered Democrats by nearly 2 to 1. The vice president had spent all day on Capitol Hill selling skeptical Democrats on the merits of the deal.
Why do we not have anything in this bill that makes millionaires and billionaires who can afford to pay a little bit more pay a little bit more? Why don't we close tax loopholes?
House Speaker John Boehner said he got 98% of what he wanted. Republicans hailed the $2.3 trillion worth of deficit cuts in the deal, though some wanted more.
But changing the way that Washington spends taxpayer dollars is often a lot like redirecting or turning an aircraft carrier. It's a monumental task.
The Senate takes up the bill today around noon, and then it will go to the president's desk because it is expected to pass the Senate. The president will sign it into law, Erica, less than 12 hours before that midnight deadline.
Talk about the 11th hour. Nancy Cordes on Capitol Hill this morning. Nancy, thanks.